Important, and Dr. Ranganathan is here with us, and I want to also join up with another important member of the Indian diaspora who's going to join me from America. Now viewers, how the worm has turned. Just a year ago, many in India's media and some Desi Americans led Trump as a great friend of India. And after his election, India's EAM had a front row seat, if you remember, at the inauguration. Prime Minister Modi was invited to the White House, only the third world leader after Netanyahu and then Japanese Prime Minister Ishiba. But a year in politics is an eternity. Today, viewers, India's MAGA well-wishers are scrambling to delete even mildly positive posts about Trump. All those people who said, no, Trump will be good for India, are deleting their posts because they've realized that this is not the case. A MAGA supporter is now almost a pariah among center-right Indians and some similarly disposed Indian Americans. And it's not hard to see why. Look at the last few days and look at the cast of characters. Even Mr. Musk is now bashing India. Laura Loomer, Peter Navarro, Howard Lutnick, and of course Trump himself. Loomer has called Indians in America, quote, third world invaders, unquote, stealing jobs. Navarro pushes stereotypes about India, including Brahminism, calling it the laundromat for Russia. Lutnick talks about fixing India, and Trump, he openly praises Pakistan and seems intent on rubbing India's nose in the dirt. Indians in India have responded online, exposing hypocrisy. So Indians sitting in this country are upset with Americans for taking them for granted and are now hitting back. But while they've made MAGA figures look petty, foolish, they haven't changed policy. Criticism for India and Indians sitting in India can always be framed, viewers, as defensive, even threatening America's predominantly white Christian identity. It would have been harder to spin if Indian Americans, the diaspora, had spoken out forcefully. How can you deny your own people? Yet they haven't, viewers. Top politicians like Ro Khanna and Pramila Jayapal, even Republicans close to Trump, that Kash Patel, viewers, who supposedly has a ear to Trump, even he hasn't whispered. They haven't championed India explicitly. Corporate leaders, Nadella, Pichai, Narayana, Krishna, have also stayed silent, missing opportunities to push back, like at the White House dinners. They were called for dinner. They could have told Trump, listen, what are you doing, buddy? Instead, they praised the president for putting American job seekers first. Can you believe it, viewers? So they were happy with him making changes in the H-1B visas. The same visas that these people have benefited from and climbed up that slope. Are they cautious to avoid being labeled as favoring a foreign nation? Or has full naturalization weakened the pull of the mother country? Perhaps rules make open advocacy risky. The American Desi community could change the conversation on Capitol Hill if it chose to. Look at the Jewish American community, highly organized, politically active, and with groups like AIPAC shaping policy. The results speak for themselves, and I want to open this up. Do these people have a duty to defend this country, or they don't? Dr. Ranganathan, Swage Shukla also with us, Executive Director of the Hindu American Foundation. What's happened, ma'am? Where are all these great so-called liberals who sit in judgment constantly of everything that happens in India, but when someone sitting in the White House, who they have looked up to so-called, is doing exactly what they should not be with India, these people are quiet. What are they doing? Are they minding their purses? Salaries? What are they doing? Scared that they might come out with on a plane with their hands manacled? What's happening?
Well, I think that's kind of a simplistic overreach of kind of casting the Indian diaspora as, just in these binaries of either they're Democrats or Republicans. We need to remember that as Indian Americans, our foremost duty is as U.S. citizens. Now, that's not to be seen as a betrayal of our heritage, but a simple fact of citizenship. But that does not change the fact that we have a civilizational ethos that courses through our veins, that allows us to coexist peacefully across differences, that we abide the laws of our adopted lands and positively contribute to the society that we live in. Now, I know that all this hullabaloo was created by a soundbite from the Honorable Shashi Tharoor, who said that, a member of Congress that was visiting India whispered in his ear that Indian Americans don't carry their weight. I'm sorry, there's 535 members of Congress, and to make these broad sweeping claims on the basis of one whisper is really unfair.
But Ms. Shukla, let me just ask you a question.
Yeah.
Can you show me one statement that has been put out by a Sundar Pichai or Nadella, etc.? I mean, look at the Armenian immigrant community in America. Look at the Jewish American community. They're all American citizens. But look at the advocacy that they have been able to do till today. Till today.
I understand that. Listen,
so I'm asking you, give me three statements.
Absolutely.
Give me three statements from Satya Nadella, Pichai, and whoever else it is, telling Trump that his tariff tyranny against India is hypocritical. Can you show me these three statements?
Fair enough. Look, I don't speak for corporate leadership, but I do know that corporations invest heavily in lobbying dollars. But to put the onus on just a diaspora...
I'm not putting the onus. I'm saying, look,
it sounds
you
like
have
you
a view.
Though.
People have a view from America on what is happening in India. They don't have a view when America is hypocritically punishing India for very partisan reasons. And I think that if they have contributed so much to American society, they should have a voice. Anyhow, let me just open this up. Okay, ma'am, you've made your point. Let me just bring in Dr. Ranganathan. Dr. Ranganathan, what's going on here, sir?
No, I'm very clear with my view on this, but thank you very much for having this discussion. It's very important, and I saw your tweet as well. Your tweet was regarding the ignorance of Americans who are naturalized Americans like Elon Musk and other, but there's very little that can be said about that. They haven't read the real colonial history, or they don't know what the Brits did in India. For them to airbrush that or, brush away that is a matter of another debate. Let's put it that way. Generally speaking, Trump's camp is ignorant about Indian history, about how brutally we were treated by our colonial masters. So that's not the question out here is directly about the Indian Americans. And here I'm very clear. If you are an American citizen, then primarily I have no objection because your primary interest is the quote unquote welfare of America. For example, nobody expects Trump to bat for Scotland or for Germany. That's where his ancestors came from. He's batting for America. But if you are an Indian who is residing in America, then I'm afraid you need to speak up for the hypocrisy that is, underlaying all the decisions that are being made by the current regime against India. Are Indians doing it? On both counts, they are not doing it.
Yes.
Now, on the first count, I don't mind. I don't know if Satya Nadella or Sundar Pichai are now naturalized American citizens. Suhag is a very dear friend. I don't know whether she's an American citizen. If she is,
I am.
Then she has. If she is, then she has every right to side.
My problem is, Dr. Ranganathan, all these American citizens have a view on India. You see.
But many of us have
if you're either American, then deal with your own situation in America. Why do you have one foot or one eye on India?
Listen,
and then if you have a view on India and you prescribe all sorts of prescriptive cures for this and that, well, when the time comes to speak up, then apply the same principle. Anyhow, we can keep going around this subject.
If I can just make one...
Yes. Yeah, okay, yes.
The Indian American diaspora as a monolith. First of all...
I'm not looking at it as a monolith. Ma'am, speaking up for your country doesn't mean that you're assuming partisan points of view. You're speaking for your nation that you have left behind, your civilizational continuity. If you want to make this... I'm not making it political. As an Indian person of Indian origin, you must have some tug to the mainland, isn't it? I'm not saying that you have to support Modi or you have to support Rahul Gandhi or whatever it is. Speak for your country. Put your country first. Anyhow, viewers, we'll keep going around in circles here. I've run out of time. We'll come back to this debate. This is a debate that I would like to have in greater detail with Suhag Shukla and also Dr. Ranganathan and many others at different time. We'll leave it to this, but I'm right back to give you a very important update from the games that are being played, viewers, internationally. Very important athletics tournament.